With less than a month to go, here are the odds of winning the 2013 NBA Draft Lottery. Orlando on top, followed by Charlotte, Cleveland, Phoenix, and New Orleans. To discuss which players match up best with the needs of these teams, we bring in our colleague Seth Davis of CBS Sports and Sports Illustrated. All right, Seth, take us through this hypothetical top five, starting with the Magic.
Well, if you're picking in the top five, then you obviously have a lot of needs. So I'm a big believer in taking the best player available. And if it is the Orlando Magic, I know they have Tobias Harris and Aaron Aflalo on the wing. I think they got to go with Ben McLemore. We've seen this decision over the years, whether it's Sam Bowie versus Michael Jordan or Kevin Durant versus Greg Oden, a wing player versus a center, and Nerlens Noel obviously on the board. I think Ben McLemore has the potential to be a superstar in this league. He's all of 6'5", A-plus athlete, great three-point shooter. He's on the board. I think you take him, and he would, by the way, be the first shooting guard to be selected #1 overall since Doug Collins out of Illinois State. Moving #2 with the Charlotte Bobcats, I think there you pick Nerlens Noel. He's not going to be a huge scorer, but he'll be an effective shot blocker off the bat. Obviously, you're going to have to show some patience. He suffered a major knee injury, and it might not be until his second or third year that he starts to be really effective. At the third pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, they do have some young pieces. Obviously, they don't need a point guard. They're great there with Kyrie Irving, and I think a budding star in Dion Waiters on the wing. So I would add a third wing player there in Anthony Bennett from UNLV. A lot of people compared Bennett, Ray, to Larry Johnson, only, I think, because he played at UNLV. To me, he's a little bit of a poor man's Glenn Robinson, the big dog at 6'8", 240, athletic, strong, and can really shoot the three-pointer. In the fourth pick, this is a classic best player available pick. I know the Phoenix Suns have Goran Dragic. He was their leading scorer this year, but Trey Burke, to me, is the closest thing in this draft to a Chris Paul type of player. I'm not saying he's as good as Chris Paul, but you see where the NBA has gone, Ray. These scoring point guards are really driving the bus in a lot of these situations, and I think that Trey Burke showed this year being the best player in college basketball. He's ready to be an effective point guard in the NBA. And then #5, those great and loony Pelicans from my favorite city of New Orleans, Louisiana. Again, they do have some decent pieces, even though Anthony Davis may be a little bit of a disappointment as a rookie. His season ended because of an injury. I think if you take Otto Porter at that spot, Ray, from Georgetown, here's a 6'8", 205-pound, small forward, power forward type, was a 42% three-point shooter, so he can go inside and out. He'll draw some comparisons, rightly so, I think, to Jeff Green. Otto Porter, I would say, Ray, is actually a little bit ahead of where Jeff Green was at this very same stage. So if the Pelicans are picking fifth and Porter is still available, I think that should be their pick.
All right, Seth, let's go back to the top of your list. The last Jayhawk to go #1 overall was Danny Manning, as you know, back in 1988. When you watch Ben McLemore, who does he remind you of?
No question, Ray, and this came up a lot during the course of the season, that the answer for me would be Ray Allen. The two dimensions to Ray Allen's game: #1, as pure an outside shooter as we've seen in the league in a long time. Maybe Stephen Curry is now the first one to really match his ability just to be able to stroke the three. And then the pure athleticism. You know, I was a newspaper reporter in New Haven, Connecticut when Ray Allen was a freshman at UConn. I have very vivid memories of Ray, his freshman season, and I can tell you that Ben McLemore is considerably ahead of where Ray Allen was at the same stage. Now, whether he's going to be as good as Ray Allen 10 or 12 years from now remains to be seen. But in terms of his ability to shoot the ball and his athleticism, I think that's the best comparison.
All right, Seth Davis, author, journalist, basketball analyst, and now future NBA scout. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Ray.
How's Canada changing basketball? We examine the impact of Canadian stars in the college and pro ranks, including a big-name star with a big-time decision. Only on CampusInsiders.com.